Yo guys, it is me Finley. Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Now guys, I'm officially back. I know it's been like 3 or 4 months, but I am officially back guys. It feels good to be back, feels good. Does it feel normal? Because obviously I've been gone for like 3 or 4 months, but yeah, let's just hop straight into this guys. Today we're going to be reacting to 5 True School Lockdown animated horror stories. So if you guys are new, please make sure to drop like, subscribe. Let's hop straight into this and yeah, let's go. Alright.
This happened when I was in high school. For some detail, I'm a female and was a junior at the time this took place. I used to walk to school and back every day because I lived pretty close to the school. So it would usually take me around 10 to 15 minutes to walk there, and I would take sidewalks basically the entire way. One morning, I left when I usually did at about 7:30 a.m. because school started at 7:50. After walking out the front door and leaving my house with my backpack, I saw a car on the side of the street.
Oh no.
It was right in front of the sidewalk where I would walk past. I had never seen
I'll
it
be out
before,
today, bro.
so I didn't know who it was. I planned to just go right past it, but when I did, I saw the passenger side
That guy
window
looks
rolling
so
down.
weird, bloody hell.
Somebody said something, and
That
I
guy
looked
looks like
over.
a weirdo.
The car was an older dark gray BMW, and the driver was a young-looking guy, but
Like,
seemed
that
to be
guy
a
looks
little
like a
bit
proper
older than
pedo,
me.
bro.
He then asked me if I needed a ride to school. I had never seen this guy before, and didn't think that he even went to my school. He told me his name was, I think, Ryan, but I can't remember exactly.
Ryan.
He said
What
which
a
school
sick
he
name.
went to, which happened to be a school in the next city over. Then he said that he was good friends with Erica, who happened to be one of my best friends. Apparently, he was going to pick her up, and she asked him to pick me up as well and give us both rides to school.
Well, I mean, that's just a lie, isn't
I said
it?
no
Like, come on.
thanks. I had never heard Erica talk about this guy before, and it just seemed really weird. The guy asked me why not, and I said maybe some other time. I wanted to confirm with Erica if she knew this guy at all. I figured there was a chance that she was friends with him, but she hadn't
I'll
said
be shitting
anything to me
myself.
about this.
But that's it,
Obviously,
I'm good.
it was a little bit suspicious. The guy seemed disappointed, but ultimately said okay. I kept walking down the street as he pulled away in his car and drove past me. But right when he got past me, he stopped his car on the road. He rolled down his window again and said, "Last chance."
No, fuck off.
I said no again, and then he
Dumbass.
finally drove off.
Go away, bud.
I walked the rest of the way to school and got there at basically my normal time. As I was walking, I texted Erica about it. In that semester of high school, my first hour class was English. By the time I got to class, I had gotten a response from Erica. I usually didn't get to see her before school because our first hour classes were on the opposite ends of the school from each other. She said that she didn't even know who I was talking about. I had a feeling that's what she was going to say.
No,
This
who
was a
is
mystery
that?
to me of who this guy
Ryan.
really was and why he tried to pick me up in his car. He knew that I had a friend named Erica, and he
They
also
kill you,
knew where I
probably.
went to school, but I didn't know him at all. During that same
Stalker.
first hour
Oh,
English
no, it's a
class,
stalker.
probably about 30 minutes in, the school went into a lockdown.
It's the
I
guy.
had no clue
It's
what
Ryan.
it was for at the time. We had never had a lockdown before in my entire time at the school, just a few drills. We were all told to sit at the back of the class. The classroom lights were turned off, and the door was locked by our teacher. We all sat in mostly silence for what felt like a really long time. It didn't really last that long, though. It was probably about 20 minutes. Eventually, the lockdown was lifted. By that time, we were all very curious as to what was going on. By the end of the day, I had found out.
What the?
A man apparently walked into the school after class had started and right past the receptionist.
That guy.
The only door
so
that was open after
weird.
class started was the front door. He was then spotted by a hall monitor who asked him for a pass.
That is weird.
The guy walked past him without saying anything and went to the locker commons. Then he hid there, and the school was locked down.
Why do you hide in the
Unfortunately,
lockers?
the guy ran out from the locker commons to the nearest exit and was able to get out. The school and property was searched, but he had gotten away. It was good that he was gone, but it was also bad that he wasn't caught.
Exactly.
Some of us were wondering where he went, but it could have been anywhere. There was large woods behind our school, and I think they pretty much gave up on the search when they found out he wasn't on the school property anymore. Still, I had no clue who the guy was who had been inside the school.
He's obviously in there, but
I didn't even connect the dots at all. After school that day, I walked home like I always did. I was less than halfway there when I once again saw the car that was at my house earlier. I got a bad feeling.
Tell someone.
This guy was not who he claimed to be, and I knew that. The car was parked on the side of the road again, on the side that I had to walk past. I sped up and started walking faster. But when I got even with the car, once again, I heard him say something. His window was already down, and the guy said hi. I looked
Hey
over
there,
and
baby
said
girl.
hi, all while continuing to walk.
Hey
He
there,
then told
baby
me to
girl.
stop. I didn't and ignored him. Then he said, "You know I was in your school earlier." I stopped and couldn't
Oh
believe what I was
no.
hearing. He then started to laugh, and it
Oh
was
my
really creepy.
goodness. I didn't know
He
it was
basically
him.
bragged about how they had locked the school down, and he managed to escape. As he was saying this, he opened his car door and got out.
Okay,
I
I'm
walked
done.
even faster
No,
until the guy
run,
started to
bro.
run. Then, at
Why?
that point, I had to start running too. Unfortunately, it seemed as
Why
though he
are
was a little
you...
bit faster than I
Okay,
was.
this is mad. Why are you waiting for him to start running? You should just run already, bro. If you're being stalked by someone, yeah, best option, easiest option, just run, bro. Run like around the blocks for that. Don't run to your house, because I think I heard it on like there's like it was, oh, I don't know, it was like in year four or something like that. There's like a video about why you shouldn't go to your house if you're being followed or something like that, so they know where you live or something like that. But yeah, don't wait for him to run. You go first. See, if that guy even starts speaking to me, like, hey, and then if he started asking me about going in his car, I'll sprint them, bro. Like, it's just easy. Just run away.
I could tell that he was gaining on me. I left the sidewalk and ran out into the middle of the
But
road.
yeah, that guy's
Then
face looks
came
scary
possibly
though.
one of the luckiest moments of my entire life.
Car.
A car started driving down that otherwise quiet road. I ran straight for the car, and when I got close, noticed that it was somebody that I actually knew. It was one of my classmates, a guy named Matt. He saw me and stopped his car. I ran for the
Matt.
passenger side, while the man chasing me continued to come after me and was about 20 feet back. I got inside
Matt
of
is the
Matt's
good
car
guy.
and told him to lock the doors. The guy
Lock the
chasing
door.
reached the car moments
Bloody
later.
hell, look at him,
The
Matt.
doors locked, and the guy tried getting
Looks
in and then began
terrifying.
pounding on the door when he couldn't. Matt asked me who this guy was, and I
I
told
don't
him to
know.
just get out of
Don't
there.
have fucking clue.
He drove away, with the guy standing in the street. I explained to Matt as I got
Bloody
out my
lovely.
phone to call the police. I told them everything, and Matt dropped me off at my house a short time later. The police came out and talked with me and my parents, and said that they would look out for the car that I described.
Like it.
That same
She's
day,
boss
the
man.
man was located by the police. He had been stalking me for several days without me even knowing. I'm not sure exactly why he went into our school. Maybe he was waiting for me to get
I
back
do
to my
not know if
locker.
someone's stalking you,
He
Matt.
could have honestly passed for a student because he looked young, but he was actually in his mid-20s
Don't
and not a
compliment him
student at
saying that
all.
he's young, bro. Bloody
This was
hell.
years ago now, but I still remember it all the time. I'm really
Matt
glad
looks like
Matt
an
was driving
oval.
by when he
Fucking
did.
hell.
I don't know what would have happened to me if not.
Jesus Christ, that is insane, bro. For a few days. I mean, you should maybe at least notice it if you're being stalked. I think, yeah, if you're being stalked, I think you should at least be able to like notice. Oh no, actually, wait, no, that sounds so dumb. Wait, no, yeah, that sounds so stupid. Um, obviously they were a good stalker. They were, if they were able. No, it's like the fact that someone was like stalking you. It could just be so like unsettling that someone was watching you for like a few days, like in the house or something. Like somebody, like the place that you're meant to feel safe, you don't feel safe, and that is like the scariest probably feeling in the entire world. But yeah, alright, we're gonna react to one more, then we're gonna end the video. Okay? I know, guys, don't cry, don't cry. I know, I know, guys. Probably everyone's like, yes, he's finally ending it.
One day, I was in
It's
school
bullshit.
for a seemingly average Thursday.
Average
I was a
Tuesday.
senior in high school and in my third-hour history class. This was one of my favorite classes because the teacher was really cool. For this story, I'll just call him Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith was very laid back and would give us a lot of time to do homework in class. We would rarely have any actual homework because we could get it all done before we left. He would teach for a bit in the beginning, and then the end of class would pretty much be like study hall. We could talk and get work done. He would even let us go on our phones or listen to music as we worked. So on this day, it was a
That'd be
normal
sick.
class period. I often had my headphones in as I studied, and I did on this day. We were working on our assignment, and I got done early. I would joke around with Mr. Smith sometimes, as did other students. I remember that I went up to him to turn in my assignment, and he asked me if I wanted to do him a favor. He said that he had to give back some iPads to another teacher. We had used them the previous day for a group assignment thing. there were about 10 iPads in this carrying case. I was happy to do this because it was something to do to get out of class. He wrote me a pass, and I took the iPad case. It was supposed to go to a teacher's classroom that was a little ways away. I left the classroom with my headphones still in, and I unpaused my music. Then I started walking through the empty hallways to the other teacher's classroom. At this point, there was probably about 15 minutes left of class. Soon, I reached the classroom that I was supposed to go to. I tried
Why-
opening the door,
Just
but it was
knock.
locked.
Knock, bro.
I could see in the window as well that all of the lights were off. I found this a bit odd, but quickly figured that the teacher wasn't there.
Just
She probably didn't teach a class during this hour or something.
don't. Okay,
I
that
turned
just
around
sounds
and
so
started to
weird.
head back to my
The fact that
classroom.
you're just
I walked about halfway back
I don't know.
when I saw something up ahead. There was a spot where two hallways intersected a ways up.
what the hell? It's,
I
it's
saw a man
Frankenstein,
up
bro.
ahead who I didn't
It's
recognize.
Frankenstein, bro.
He
Oh,
clearly wasn't a teacher.
big fan, but
and I
big
didn't
fan.
think he worked at the school either.
Please get a
It
picture.
struck me as suspicious right away. I only saw him for about a second or two because he passed by one hallway and into the other. He didn't look in my direction at all. The
Frankenstein,
problem
big fan.
was that he was walking in the direction that my classroom was in.
Oh shit!
I
Don't
kept
follow
walking
him.
up ahead.
Don't
When I got to where the man had
follow
walked
him, that's
past,
just-
I stopped and looked down the hallway first. When I did, I saw the guy again. He was a long ways down, near where my classroom was. It appeared as though he was looking for something.
Looking for
I
someone.
didn't want to go down there,
You.
and I started walking in the opposite direction. I took out my headphones at that point. Everything
Okay,
was
so-
silent. I didn't really know where I was going anymore,
Oh no.
and I was trying to figure out what exactly was going
Behind
on.
you, this could be a jump scare.
After walking
mind.
around the empty hallways for
scared,
like
bro.
5 minutes,
I thought
I
what
thought
this could be a
maybe
jump
the man
scare.
was gone by then, and I started heading back for my class. When I got back to the hallway where I had last seen him, he was gone. I was just glad to see this, and
Yeah,
I
it's
started
good, it's
walking
good.
down the
Yeah,
hallway for my
Let's
class.
go into class.
Just a
quicker.
few
Let's
steps
go.
later, though,
Oh,
I heard footsteps coming from behind me and around the corner.
It's
They were going towards
Frankenstein.
me, and there were some
My
bathrooms
bestie.
right there, so I just went inside. I didn't know who the person was, but I really
Frankenstein,
didn't
bro.
want them to see me. By now, I figured that they weren't supposed to be in the school. After
No,
going
wait
inside
a
of the
minute, bro.
bathroom, at
Shocker.
first, I just waited
shocker.
inside. But when the footsteps got closer, I moved into one of the stalls. The guy passed by and did not go inside. I waited a little while longer before
Bastard.
looking out of the bathroom. When I did, I saw that the person was a
Why is
ways down the hallway, once again near where my class
So
was.
short.
I left the bathroom and quickly tried to walk to the other hallway, away from this guy. I must have been loud or something when I did, because as I was walking, I heard movement behind me.
Oh,
I
it's
looked and saw the guy
Frankenstein.
looking right at me. He turned and started walking in my direction. The guy was really far behind me, at least over 100 feet.
Bloody hell,
I
man.
walked as quickly as possible out of that hallway and took another one. By this point, I just wanted to get out of the school or far away from the guy. I walked down that hallway for a while and then took a left to another one. I was going to the stairs to go down to the first floor. As I approached the stairs, though, I heard somebody coming up the stairs. I stopped and didn't know who this person could be.
Up the
When they
stairs.
came into view, I saw that it was a police officer. He asked me what I was doing,
Don't know why he
and
was
I
so
asked
scared
him
of a
what was
police
going
officer.
on. He told me that the school was under a lockdown, and they were searching for a suspicious man. I pointed him in the direction that I had last seen him. Then I went downstairs and saw several more officers. I showed them my student ID, and we found a nearby classroom, and I had to wait inside there until the lockdown was over.
These
It
pictures
lasted
are
for
so
probably
funny.
about 15 more minutes, and then it ended. We were let out, and by then, it was time for the next class period. I'm not sure who that guy was, or what he was even doing. I also don't know how he got into our school either.
This is me.
I hadn't
What
been
does he
able to
look
hear
like?
that we were going into
Frankenstein and
lockdown,
Mr.
though,
Bean.
because my headphones were in, and I couldn't hear anything.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
Looking back, if I would have known, I would have tried to go into any classroom. I don't know what would have happened to me if that guy caught up
Okay,
with
that
me
makes
either,
sense.
but I'm glad I didn't have to find out.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. The fact that he had his headphones in, so he wasn't able to hear the lockdown emergency. Sorry, my mind just had a blank. But yeah. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be the end of the video. If you guys did enjoy, please drop a like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.